Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Thank you for clicking on my video. I appreciate your time. Okay, we are doing the part 2 to the nikocado avocado comeback series. So yesterday we made a video on my YouTube channel where we watched his video, which was called like How I Fooled the Internet, and he had compiled all of these years worth of footage of him talking about the fact that he was going to gain all this weight until he was 30 years old, and then he was going to lose the weight. And he basically showed this timeline that he was working towards gaining as much as possible. I think he wanted to get up to like 400 pounds, and then he wanted to lose it all and like shock us. And we were the ones that like fed into this dumb content he was making, and he was doing this to show us that we were the dumb ones all along, and you know, we believe everything. And it was just really weird. And again, my opinion of it was like, at the end of the day, you can be like, this was a social experiment, and at the end of the day, like, he surprised us, but he was the one that spent his entire 20s making himself so severely unhealthy, and literally by his words that he thought he was going to die. So I don't think it's that impressive or that gag worthy, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's actually quite stupid to put yourself through this for the sake of clout. But anyways, he had made this part 1 video, which we watched yesterday, and he had this follow-up video where he's responding to Charlie. Is it most critical? I always say most critical, and I'm pretty sure it's moist critical. Hold on, let me really is it okay? I'm just seeing critical Charlie. I think I said like most critical once, and then people were like, Adam, it's moist critical. It's moist critical. Okay. And I said most once, and people kept making fun of me. So anyway, critical. He's responding to this commentary video on sorry, my computer background just randomly changed. I don't know why. And let me just show you how it's like so green and so in my face. I don't know why. It was normally a picture of Mariah Carey, but for some reason it's now just a green landscape, maybe to remind me to touch some grass. So anyways, let's get into this video. I'm really excited to see it, and especially him responding to a commentary video that was kind of deep diving what they thought Nick was doing. Also, you guys, I'm going on tour in America in February. Tickets are on sale, link down below. I'm going to Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, and Dallas, and I just want to give a quick heads up that LA is about to sell out with the meet and greet and about to sell out with the general admission, and once it's gone, it's gone. So Chicago has already sold out the general admission and meet and greet. There's some VIP tickets still left, and LA is also going. So yeah, that is Dallas, LA, Seattle, Chicago, Brooklyn. Tickets are down below. I've been working really hard on this show, and I'm super excited for it. So I will hopefully see you all in February. We are looking to add more shows, but for right now, these are the ones that are up. So if you're in the areas, please come. I promise to give you a really fun time. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. So tickets are on sale down below. Okay, let's get to this video. My response to critical.
1 month ago, I
thought he was gonna do one step ahead. I am always one step ahead.
lost to the internet, and it went pretty viral, way more viral than I ever thought.
Listen, he looks really happy in these recent videos. Obviously, he was trolling in the first couple ones where he's like 2 steps ahead. I am always. But now he seems a lot more lighthearted. He seems to kind of broken down this character, and he seems happy. And you know what? I'm happy for him.
Thought it would. It's literally about to hit.
I identify as skinny hat and shirt combo here are crazy though. But what can I say? What can I say wearing this?
50 million today, October 17th, 2024. Thank you to everyone.
He's great teeth.
I would sit down and talk to you more about my weight loss and everything, and also react to penguins who got the most views reacting to me and my weight loss. In case you didn't see the video on my main channel, basically I'm an actor. I went to school for acting. I have a very long history in performance. My background is in theater, and it was my dream.
Oh, what? It's always when people tell you they have a background in theater that it's like the least surprising. What? You have a background in theater? Really? I'm so shocked.
To be on Broadway. Whether I was acting or doing violin, I craved that theater. In the case of Broadway workers, like you get a contract for a tour or a show, and when it's over, you're unemployed again. I basically employed myself.
Literally me after the Chronically online tour.
My own terms here on YouTube by doing this character and spreading it out for so many years. Something that I learned in my training, like in school, was that the actors who had to undergo like the greatest physical changes, they lost a lot of weight for their role or they gained a lot of weight, those actors tended to have the greatest impact. You know, when you watch someone on screen and you've seen them before and other stuff, you start getting that backlog of, oh yeah, I remember them from this and this and this. But when they're like physically unrecognizable, totally different people, you don't get that backlog running through your brain.
How about I do the talking? I'm the client. And you better do it by the end of the night.
And so it was really easy for me to blur that boundary between fact and fiction, like I said.
Okay, 2 points. Number one, someone commented on my video and was like, the comment section on Adam... I need to sneeze. Sorry, you had to hear that. Someone commented on my YouTube video yesterday and was like, Adam and his followers are a bunch of haters. This is impressive that he lost all this weight and you're just all fucking hating. And I was like, yeah, it's impressive to lose that 400 pounds at the magnitude he did, but that doesn't take away from my point, which is he's talking about theater and entertainment and being the character and having to change physically so you believe the character more. That's fine. But in doing the character, he also was making these videos where he was saying that he was miserable, that he didn't know if he could last until 30 to continue this eating. He felt like he was going to die. And he literally spent a majority of his 20s gaining this weight for this character, I guess, for the sake of, you know, making money. And for me, I don't see that as being worth it. Again, money talks, and you know, he's made a lot of money in this, and maybe that was a priority, or maybe it was a priority just to be the character, but I would not devote my entire 20s really to being miserable for the sake of a gotcha moment by losing all the weight, or just keeping up a character. If I'm being completely honest, you know, someone losing a drastic amount of weight or gaining a drastic amount of weight for a role for a movie is very different than it being your life. You know, he records these videos and he goes around his life still feeling like he's going to die because of the weight that he's gaining so rapidly for the sake of the character. That's very different than someone doing it for 2 months for a role, which is very unhealthy within itself, the extreme, you know, back and forth. And also, someone commented on my video, which I find really interesting, and they were like, why is no one acknowledging that Adam's being fatphobic? And they had this big, long comment, and I decided to read it, right? Hold on, let me switch over to here. I decided to read the entire comment, because I was like, maybe my true intentions are not coming across. And their point was basically saying that the way that I speak about him gaining weight is inherently fatphobic, which is really interesting to me and crazy, if I'm just being completely honest, because in my video yesterday, I spoke about the fact that Nikocado Avocado's content was directly pandering towards trying to gain the most amount of weight as possible. And in turn, he was making videos openly saying how unhealthy he felt, how he felt he was going to die. And that was my main point. And I compared it to these YouTubers that are severely anorexic, severely in eating disorders, and they're getting a lot of views and, you know, praise and attention because their bodies are so sick. The same way that Nikocado Avocado's body was so sick and he was telling us it's so sick. I don't think that that's fatphobic to say. I'm also showing you the two extremes, and it is two extremes. He was making videos saying that he wanted to gain the most amount of weight as possible. Also, he was saying that he was miserable. Also, he was saying he couldn't breathe. He was saying that he was having trouble walking. He couldn't see parts of his body anymore, and it was making him so sad. He felt like he was going to have a heart attack. Like, all these different things. It's not fatphobic, in my opinion, for me to say that the way he was living was incredibly unhealthy, because I would say that about a creator that's severely anorexic as well. They're being praised for their unhealthy lifestyle, and it's not fatphobic to say that. The same way, I guess, it wouldn't be skinny shaming to say, it's just saying a fact, in my opinion, but I may be wrong. And again, if that person wants to comment, or more people want to comment saying that educating me, that what I'm saying is insensitive or whatever, but I truly don't believe to my core that I am saying this in a fatphobic way. I'm saying it in a way that he was purposely making himself as unhealthy as possible by gaining the most amount of weight. But always down to hear out if anyone thinks that that is an incorrect statement for me to say. Literally just hit me in the comments and I will respond.
Because I was physically so unwell. How do you...
There we go. Like, literally, there we go. He was gaining all this weight and he was so unwell because he was gaining all that weight. He was doing it for a purpose.
Take someone seriously or think that they're in control, you know, when they look so out of control.
I'm just craving food. I kind of look mostly skinny. Thanks for being here for the show and watching.
I had a CPAP machine. I could barely bend over. I had a scooter to get around. This was all part of the plan. You think like, wow, they've really let themselves go. But I didn't. I knew what I was doing. I wanted to get that big because I came to this knowing that I would gain weight and knowing I would lose weight and knowing I would use the weight gain to kind of mask a new character I would develop for myself in the process. Like as I was growing on the screen, I would be diving deeper into this character work. This manic, self-absorbed, crazy,
Again, I think it's very impressive that he was able to pull this off, but I don't see it as anything other than just impressive. I think the cons were bigger than the pros in this. And obviously there's such thing as committing to the bit, and that's exactly what he did, but I wouldn't be willing to do something like that. And I think a majority of people weren't, and maybe that's why it is impressive, but I don't really see it as a gotcha moment because at the end of the day, he put himself through this. And thank God he, in losing all this weight so quickly as well, didn't have incredible health ramifications that can happen there as well, you know, by gaining and losing weight so quickly as well.
Unhinged, bizarre man's trapped in his apartment, suffocating his lungs with food and junk.
Ooh. Oh, looks really pretty though. They're brand new mac and cheese in here, mac and cheese in here.
I was in control of all of it.
Closet, cheapers, oxygen tank. I'm gonna get new clothes because none of these fit.
And so the video I'm posting today on the other channel, I'm releasing clips that I had filmed where I would look at the camera and I said, I'm about to gain a lot of weight. And I'm gonna convince the world that I'm crazy. The fatter I get, the more impactful this will be. Or, you know, when I'm 30, I'm done. Or, you know, we have 5 years left and then I'm gonna turn this around. You just wait and see. And all of these clips were published years ago. I had been slipping them into my regular content.
Again, I don't see it being that exciting if in the process you're telling people what your plan is, whether they believed you or not. People knew that that was what you wanted to do, whether you were going to do it or not. You know, so it wasn't even a surprise. It was just drastic.
Things along the way, leaving all these hints and clues for 7 years straight. This weight gain was deliberate, and I was 100%.
I hate to act like such a hater here, but I'm just not as impressed as I think most of the general public are by this. You gained weight and you lost it. Okay.
How do you believe that someone's going to plan out gaining weight and losing weight and developing a character while doing it? It sounds too wild. It sounds like a movie, right? This is something I've always wanted to do. You know, you could even tell in my soliloquy, I am always two
steps ahead.
These are characters, and it's the vision I've had forever. And the whole character.
God, he's such a little theater kid, isn't he? I love it.
I just wanted to make people smile, entertain them. You turn on the news, it's horrible, sad stuff. I just wanted you to have 30 minutes a day where you take your mind off all the stress and you see this person. You might feel better about your own life. Wow, I thought my life was bad. Look at this person getting so fat.
Oh my God.
Over the top theatrical, like a pie smashed in my face, or I look over there and a cake comes flying, fighting with Orlin.
So I'm like, was Orlin also like gaining the weight with you for the sake of a bit? To then lose it? Or like, where's he? Where's he?
Wars and, I mean, two grown men fighting with noodles.
Yeah, I mean, like, where's he as well?
I mean, he threw salad at me.
And first of all, where'd the damn bird go? You know the way the bird disappeared for a couple years, then came back? I want to know that. I want to know that.
Lettuce, very slapstick, over-the-top theatrical comedy, like Dumb and Dumber or The Three Stooges, just very theater, you know?
Very theater.
Make people smile. That was my dream role that I did not get on Broadway. I did not get in the theater.
This is really interesting to me that his full thing is he wanted to make people smile with this nikocado content, but the content was at its core so negative. That's what's not adding up to me. Like, he keeps saying he wanted to create this character that could take you out of your life and entertain you and make you laugh, but at its core, the content was miserable. Like, the full point of, I guess, the character was that he was miserable and sad. And so I'm like, does that really add up? I mean, I don't know.
It's one thing to do a show.
Maybe I'm just interpreting it wrong.
Do a show for 8 years.
Last night I went to bed really early. I was just all tuckered out, so I said, "Goodbye, moon," and I snuggled on into bed to catch some Z's. Little did I know that while I slumbered, we'd all been paid a visit by someone very special. And I'm not talking about Santa Claus, but I am talking about another man in a red shirt. Nikocado Avocado. I woke up this morning in a different timeline. I think we shifted back to the Berenstein Bears universe and left...
God, Nikocado's teeth are amazing.
Mandela effect. I actually, that is a really crazy theory, and I totally remember Berenstein Bears. I might skip over all the parts of me talking we already know, but I want to say something about this, like, for 5 seconds. 2 steps ahead.
I wonder if he's going to mention the panda hat. The panda face was what Stephanie Sue's husband uses, and obviously they had drama, and it was kind of like a fuck you, in my opinion. I wonder if that's what he's going to address here.
Always
2 steps ahead.
As McGold pointed it out as a theory, but he was correct, and no one else caught on to it. That sound was a deliberate choice. That sound is deliberate, and the reason I did it is, as he pointed out, which was so creepy that he knew, it's for creepiness. It's supposed to be unsettling, like that fan in the background or that water dropping. I
don't find that unsettling. I have one on my face right now. I love it. I love white noise.
It's like real and not over the top with post-production. I like it to be like in the moment. So I want to feel like home video, home style. I don't want it to be super high quality edited, and that's the point. It's supposed to look very like a man grabbed his camera in a room. That's the delivery. Anyways, let's skip over me talking. I just want to hear about...
This moment right here is this generation's I Am Your Father. This is up there with the Darth Vader identity reveal. Perhaps one of the most unexpected things I've seen in quite some time.
Obsessed with how much Nikocado moves whenever he's reacting to a video. Could you imagine I do that as well?
Watching this, I let out an audible whoa. My body itself, my soul, was shocked when he took the mask off there. So... he gives like a villain monologue that sounds like it's out of the Fallout universe, talking about how he's 2 steps ahead because
always 2 steps ahead. I'm always.
Is an unbelievable feat that's nothing shy of extraordinary. And he mentions how even yesterday YouTubers and many other people were...
Oh my god, Nikocado reacting to this is like a silent movie. He's like...
calling him sad.
Come on, baby, speak up.
Depressing, sick, and all of that, and still making videos about him, even while he secretly, over the course of 2 years, had been losing all of that weight and all.
Yeah, so that was what it was really entertaining for me. Again, I love the performance of this, and it's so exciting. Like, I'm watching all these people just rake me through the coals every day on social media as I'm sitting there getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and just kind of on my phone. Yep. Calling me names, keep it coming, keep it coming. I don't care, you will. The Sunny V2, Nikocado is like sad, depressing, da da da. I'm just like,
Like again, I'm like, it seems that this would have had a bigger impact on you and your mental health than anyone else's. You know what I mean? Like. You're like, oh, all these people are leaving hate comments, but I was secretly getting skinny. Okay, but you're having to like severely diet and stuff like that, and people are making 1 or 2 comments here and there. This is your daily life. This is maybe they're like once a week commenting on a video. Like, I get it, but like, that's why it's just not that impressive to me. Like, he was the one that had to do all this. Therefore, it impacted his life, not ours. I mean, losing the weight is in that time frame as well is a lot of work, and I'll never not credit that, but it just seems like he went through a lot for I don't know.
It's exciting for me. I had so much fun with it, and I'm still gonna have fun with it. But yeah, it was an experience for me as well as you guys to see this reveal, because I was getting skinny watching people call me fat for over 2 years. It was actually over 2 years. And you guys saw the Oompaville stuff, and I had already lost like 40 pounds during that interview. but I was already so fat no one really knew. I mean, when you're like 400 pounds and you get down to 350, you're still so fat. It's like, okay, you're still fat, you know? I mean, yes, it's progress, but it's not where people are like, oh my God. Almost can't even tell, because that's how big I was. I was 411 at my heavy.
Again, this just reminds me, I said this in my video yesterday, of that like documentary of that guy that like went and ate all fast food and then was like, look how fat I got. And it was like, it just is this content that in turn is fatphobic. You know what I mean? Like, that is fatphobic. Not me saying about him gaining all this weight is making him sick, but he's purposely making this content to make fun of people who are large or show how easy it is to lose weight. And we see this all the time where these people do documentaries where they gain all this weight and then they lose it to prove that if you don't lose weight, you're just lazy. And that's not realistic, and that's not how it works for everyone. And it just fucking sucks that there's a demographic of people here that are made to feel less than or made to feel bad about themselves so that you can feel great that you made a little character. It doesn't sit right with me, I'm going to be honest.
Yes. And so I had already lost 50 pounds or so. Don't remember the exact. But around that time, I developed a really bad cough. And I had to take protozane, I think, Predinose. I think it's some type of steroid to make your breathing better. But one of the bad side effects, which I guess was good for me, was you swell. You get moon face. You hold on to a lot of water weight. Like I gained 20 pounds in like 2 days of swelling. Like I ballooned up. I'm like, oh, this is kind of perfect. Like low key. Like I don't want people to know I'm losing weight, actually, not yet.
All the videos that people were talking about were actually videos that Nikocado had filmed 2 years prior and kept drip feeding to the community to keep them either entertained or keep himself fanning the flames of drama for people to latch on to. It is actually very fascinating. Now, some of you might recall about 4 years ago, Nikocado, Avocado, and myself had a tiny bit of beef. I'm talking like a Salisbury steak level of beef between us and...
Okay, I'm smiling because A, I wasn't that serious when I said those things about him, and B, I also know that he wasn't serious that much about the things he was saying.
I'm obsessed with Nikocado now being able to get out of drama by being like, it was a character.
It's kind of like fake outrage and fake level of concern. Like, yeah, he's concerned, but not really, because he knows it gets the... I know how to get the views. But he also knows how to get the views. I mean, he's a reaction channel primarily. Like, he talks about what's timely, what's relevant, what's going around, what's trending. And I was trending in that moment, and he's like, let me talk about it. So I was like, this is not, like, real deep concern, but let me just say we're concerned. Yeah. It's all very shallow and superficial. And I hammed it up. It was good content for both of us. But that's why I'm smiling, because I know he's... You know, that's why he tosses it off in his mind. It's like, oh, little beef. Because he knows it wasn't that serious either. Now, I've never talked to him in person, like, behind the scenes. Maybe his feelings got hurt. I don't think I said... Well, yeah, I did say some mean things.
But it was a character, right?
Oh my gosh. I hope you're not mad at me, penguins, for calling you moist cuticles and boring or what. I don't even know what I said.
Check jump.
Oh, I think I said something about his hair.
You're friends with them?
Most of them, yeah.
Moist cuticles.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He wears white shirts.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
I like your hair. I want to grow my... I shaved it deliberately, make a more dramatic effect, because I wanted to look...
I mean, again, I'm like, okay, you got us.
as different as I could.
After all that drama, I had actually kept up with Nikocado Avocado, occasionally just tuning in.
Oh, did you?
To check and see what's going on. I made a video like a year ago on a piece of content that Nick dropped where he actually did talk about a weight loss journey that he was going on, and I've kind of just been cheering him on from the sidelines ever since then.
Oh, I did see that video. Oh, thank you. You know, I did see that video. That was so nice of you. I did a test. I'm like, let me do a little, put my foot in the pond and kind of see how it feels. Where I just say I lost 89 pounds. It wasn't really 89 pounds. That's just another joke.
So again, he was losing weight and telling us the entire time. Okay.
Joke. I had fun with my chair. We need new chairs. I think I broke this chair. It's so squeaky. Yeah. So thank you for the nice things. He seemed very happy for me, and it was around the time when there was a lot of bad things on the internet, like scandals and a lot of negativity in the news, world events, and everyone was just really low in their spirits. And I guess I did bring a little happiness. I don't know. People were happy for me. I think anytime someone tries to make themselves better physically and take their health in control, it inspires people. Because there's a lot of people out there who are fat too. And they're like, okay, if he can do it.
Hoping that he'd follow through on that and just to see where it all goes.
Again, inherently is inappropriate to kind of insinuate that just because you gained all this weight then lost it, that, you know, it'll be motivational that it's so easy for other people to be able to lose that weight, because that's just not realistic. And you have so much money from YouTube to be able to afford proper dieting and proper medication and so many things like that. Access to workout facilities because you barely work because you're a YouTuber. And it's inappropriate to then push that anyone can do this. Because with your situation and most people's situation, that's impossible, actually. So I hope no one feels bad about themselves because of this, but I fear that there's probably people out there that do.
See this come up was not only extremely surprising, just given how much weight he had lost in a relatively short period of time. I know to a lot of people 2 years, like on the internet terms, that's like ancient history. Things that happened 2 years ago, that might as well been void century that no one remembers. But like speaking realistically, 2 years to lose 250 pounds, that's a speed run. Those are gold splits.
I haven't made a video for like 2 years. And so we literally just got him back like a couple months prior before making this video. And he's an adult now. When we had Noodle, he was a baby. He didn't even...
Where was Noodle? What do you mean you got him back? Where the fuck was he?
His feathers come in. Like he still had all his chest bare because he was a baby. It takes years for them to get all their adult feathers.
He mentions that it's been 2 years since he's made a video.
Where was the damn bird in the meantime?
Piece little breadcrumbs together in your head and follow this path here, connecting the dots. He has released videos on all of his channels over the course of 2 years. Quite a few of them. Not to the same frequency that he used to, but he still had a ton of videos.
It was around 100, I think. I have more Nikocado, which is this channel, that had dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos. Then we have Nikocado 3, which had dozens and dozens and dozens of videos. I had my second channel, I had Nikocado Shorts. My TikTok, I posted like 100 TikToks throughout this whole time of pre-recorded stuff that I knew I had to release as I was losing the weight. So it was a lot. It was, I'm surprised my computer didn't explode. Try to put it all together.
Videos that were posted 2 weeks ago or even as recent as 5 days ago where he is that same weight were all apparently recorded years ago. Nick actually just had a crazy backlog, like the Library of Alexandria for mukbangs, and he just kept going to the vault to upload some of that old pre-recorded...
Not Nikocado's version from the vault. 10-minute version. I remember it all too well. 2 steps ahead.
Find like a date somewhere on like his phone, or when he went to the Heart Attack Grill, like maybe like a calendar sticking on a...
Remember when I said I lost 89 pounds or whatever, which was kind of a joke? I mean, I did lose weight. I don't think it was really 89. That's another joke. I'm a jokester. But yeah, so I had a lot of cheat days and I had some breaks and I had setbacks, like most people have setbacks when they lose weight. And during some setbacks, I decided to film. And I put my toe in the water, knowing that, all right, I'm starting to get some progress. I know where I'm at. I know where my end goal is. It should happen around this time. Let me get a taste of what the reaction might be. Let me see if people are even going to care as much or what it's going to be like. I knew people would talk about it. I just didn't know to what extent. And so that's when I decided to take like a cheat week or whatever. Maybe it was 2 weeks. So when I had my cheat weeks, I would have a week, I'd film some videos, and then I would spread them out throughout 2023 when I was like, I lost 89 pounds. So that is how that unraveled as well.
Dude was playing chess while the rest of us were playing checkers. He played us like a violin, and Nick loves the violin. Many of you might not remember this from the...
God, everyone loved my singing of Closer My God to Thee, which is one of my favorite songs right now. Anytime I hear the violin now, I can just think of that damn Titanic song. It's gonna be on the Tur playlist.
Incredible violin player. He was more decorated than like Captain America in terms of accolades when it came to this. Like in his field of violin, he was a very well regarded, talented player. And he came out here and just Gangnam styled on us. He really.
I mean, it's sad that he has such a talent for violin, yet he decided to do this to gain notoriety on social media platforms rather than the violin. I mean,
He did play us like a sweet melody on that instrument.
It was a long 8 years, wasn't it?
Bird is so cute.
Soft spot in my heart. And some of my most fondest moments of my life that bring me so much joy and brings tears to my eyes just thinking and looking back is being on stage in a theater. Not a big old arena with, Taylor Swift on 100,000 people. I mean like an intimate theater with 1,000 people, 800 people. And you're performing, and there's this element in this air. There's this spark, this level of energy between the stage and the audience. It is, my opinion, better than the movies. It's better.
Then why was that not a priority rather than, spending your entire 20s doing this character? Genuinely just asking a question.
Than what you see on TV. It's actually what humans have always done since the beginning of time until technology. I go back to the Romans, they had the theater and they had all the forms of entertainment were live. I really want to get back into it. I think now, especially since I'm not 400 pounds, it's a lot easier to travel. I would love to do, even if it's just like meet and greets. And I guess this is my way of kind of putting a feeler out there. Would you guys want to see me perform? Would you want to meet me? Would you want to... when I go to the airports and people come up to me and take photos and give me a hug, and it feels good for me too to be like, wow, these are the viewers. Now I can see you, because before it's just looking at a screen, and this is the real connection that you just don't get from YouTube unless you do like VidCon or you do tours. So I kind of want to explore this, and I want to know if you guys would be interested.
His audience is extremely supportive. They are very receptive to this, cheering him on in a big way, pumping their fist and celebrating this. The video on his main channel about it is exploding. The video on his second channel is exploding. He's made 2 videos and his community is showing nothing but love and oodles of support for this. And it's what people have said for a long time, that if Nick actually did go through this weight loss journey, it'd probably be extremely good for him. Like, not only health-wise, but like in terms of his channels and like his community. It's inspirational. Like, people would love to see that. And I think it's clearly...
God, he has such great teeth.
I want to say thank you to all of you too, because I know I've been pretty distant. I kind of just put out the videos. I'm 2 steps ahead. And then
2 steps ahead.
I just want to say thank you. Yeah, the community, all the people here who are excited to see me physically well, excited to see me take off the mask, kind of put down the acting. Many didn't realize I was. Some did. I think people, I get the sense, are just overjoyed to kind of see me just... We did it. Let's take a chill pill now.
Like, he can still...
We did it, guys. We did it, Joe.
But now in a healthier place. And like I said last time, when he had lost, I think it was like 89 pounds at the time, he seems happier. Like I'm
And I am. I've always been a twink at heart. But yeah, I'm just so happy to feel this is me. This is me.
That was such a shocking statement.
Better.
Not twinkacado, avocado.
Everyone feels better.
Twink off. Let's go.
I feel a lot happier, and they're so connected.
I'm like...
How you look and your weight can affect how you feel. Even if you're in control, I had to push myself very hard to get out of bed to keep it going.
He seems
like a lot of work.
At lower weights. Like, in the content where he weighs less, he actually just seems like a happier person. At least that's the impression I get watching it. So it's really something to celebrate here with what Nick has been able to accomplish. And I really am happy to see that the reception to it has been overwhelmingly positive. It is incredible work. This is an effort that is extremely impressive. I'd be really interested to see what he did to lose all of that weight so quickly. I think that'd be really interesting content if he talked about it, or showcased maybe some of the things he was doing for cardio, or if he was doing weight training, what that looked like. I think that'd be really good bangers, if he made content around that as well, while still of course having mukbang be the bread and butter.
I think this is a good way to wrap it up and to let you know I have part 3.
Not a fucking trilogy. Oh my god, there it is. Listen, he seems really happy. I just think that my main issues with this is it kind of inherently promotes shaming people who are of a certain or very similar weight, who it's much harder for the average person to lose weight. There are medical conditions. It's also just not feasible in terms of affordability, sometimes accessibility. This content does kind of shame that look how easy it was to lose weight. We see it with these documentaries of these skinny stars gaining all this weight and then having all this money to help lose it very quickly, and then it just in turn makes people feel bad about themselves. He seems happy. He looks great. He just looks very happy, and god, his teeth are amazing. Muckers, let me know your opinion of this. I'll talk to you down below. I hope you're all doing very well, and goodbye.